Did you know you can eat these, Luke? These?
No, I didn't.
These maples? This
not.
is maple broccoli. You can.
Interesting. I'm full.
You're full?
Yeah.
Yeah, friends, welcome back. Thanks for clicking on the video. This is a very interesting situation. I got called. I've done work for this fella for many years. I'll shush up and walk you through the process. Check this out.
Oh, I don't know if this is the right setting.
Good, good. Is that our gimbal, Luke?
Yeah, I'm just figuring out the right setting to have it on.
Cool.
This seems okay.
Okay.
What do we got going?
Well, we got a little bit of a situation here, Luke. Do you notice how nice and smooth this footage is, everybody? We got our gimbal, friends. Luke's on the gimbal. Now, Luke, come on in here with me. I want to show you something. You can.
Or else I would.
Now, not joking about the maple broccoli. You can eat it. Lukey, you might be able to just explain to folks what we got here by having a look.
Yeah.
This is a situation. It's a maple that is quite old and strong, but it is leaning right over the famous, I should have removed that before I put my shop in, right? But we like trees. We move into an area. We don't want to cut trees, you know. So we don't cut the tree, and then down the road we go, I should have cut that tree. This is what's happened. But Luke, if you want to pan up, I mean, we're not only over the shed, we're leaning hard on this maple. So I'm going to get a power saw. But first of all, I'm going to put a rope in this tree. And I'm probably just going to throw it up over top of there somewhere. And I'm going to put a cut in this thing. Oh, actually. See that, Luke?
Yep.
So now we got a rope in her. So we'll just do a running bow line, friends, if you don't know what that is. It's just a bow line, just add the rope into the link. But this isn't the treacherous part of the job by any means. But now you can run your rope up into the tree. And even though it's pulling against a couple things that I don't really care it to, it's not going to matter when you see what's going to happen here. See, it's caught onto that fir limb there?
Yep.
That ain't going to matter to us. I'll bust that right off there too. So now, this is the part where a lot of guys get this a little bit. I've seen it happen in seasoned tree men. This thing's leaning over this shed already and to a hydro line. So your tag line, your pull direction means a lot here, friends. I'm going to jack the stump up, right? I'll jack it up with a wedge, but it's where I put my undercut now. It's important. So there's nothing holding this. Like if I just was to pull here straight out, what's going to happen if it breaks off the stump? Oh, there goes that fir limb. Perfect. Nice. So if I just pull like this, it's only going to go so far. It's going to get by the shed and it's going to probably end up over here somewhere, which is probably where it's going to go anyway. But if I have my pickup down here, over here, almost like a tag line, friends. Literally like a tag line. Like, look at that tree. Look how much I'm moving it. Just by me. So, it would almost be smart. Matter of fact, it will be smart if I go over here. On this side, even though I want the tree in there, I'm going over here. Because this is going to work semi like a tag line. You watch. You'll see what I'm talking about. So I've got... Yeah. So friends, this is very, very interesting what happens here. And
not a good video to kind of move through and skip and try and you will miss what happens here if you're a cutter and you're in the game. Friends, this thing's leaning over the shed and back. So I know you understand what I've done thus far with the rope, and I've tagged it back, and we all get that part of it. These are measures, so I have a plan in my mind to cut this thing up and rip it off the stump. That's my plan. Look at the lean on it. Is to tear it off the stump. Watch what happens here, friends. These are precautions I'm taking right now. Insurance, so to speak.
And we don't tag her up a ton, friends, because if I preload this tree now, like hard preload, this is not what we want. It's not. This is going to be a cut up, set it up, and tear this thing off the stump is what it's going to be. It's not going to be a preload and then cut, because if I preload this thing and start cutting, it's going to want to leave, and I don't want that right now. I want to cut it up and reap it off the stump. Does that make sense? Okay. So I will put the teeniest amount of preload on this thing. This truck is set up and is always set up for tree work. The good old tree truck. Now we just tie a bow line. I've just gone around, even though I'm doubled, friends, it's just, I don't have to add this in. I can just add my running line in and just do a good old bowline, but it's nice to have double on the tie end, because it just is. It's just easier to get undone. I could have added that in, but I don't need to. It's a single line and away I go. So now I'm going to preload this ever so slightly. Hey, you're back. Man, that's smooth footage, isn't it, friends? Lukey's on the gimbal. My wife and my daughter got together and bought me a gimbal. It's the most high-techy piece of equipment we have on this channel. Here's the deal. Let's get serious. We talked about that already. Luke, come and have a look under here.
Okay.
Show folks what we've got. Like, we got to get this beyond here. Hence, that's why my tagline is not straight out. I am going to cut this tree up, and I'm actually going to drive it right off the stump. And on this particular tree, friends, if I put an undercut in this tree first, I'm not getting a back cut in it. It won't happen. It won't happen. Think about that for a minute. Unless I try to utilize this lean, but I don't like that idea. I want a strong front plate here. So I'm actually, there's a couple different ways you can look at this. I can put my back cut in facing the pickup, because this is gonna tear out. All this wood is so far over there that I can afford to pull that way, right? I can afford to go that way. So I'm gonna jack this thing up a bit. I thought about maybe just rolling it off, maybe just utilizing lean and rolling it off. I actually probably could do that if I left a narrow enough undercut and I used this top plate here to hold the tree on the stump. You guys hear me talk about top plates all the time and under plates and side plates. Well, what's holding this tree from going over there is this entire top plate.
All right. This ain't no Buck and Billy Ray video if I don't interject once. As I build these videos, friends, I've been talking about these plates forever, and high wood and low wood and side lean and high and low side, and for freaking years. Friends, do not skip through this video. Don't do it, especially starting right now.
Friends, this whole top plate. So if I bring my undercut around in here, I've broken the top plate. Not the greatest. So I'm actually going to do a narrow undercut, and I think I'm actually going to, that's actually what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a narrow undercut facing down there, and that top plate will still help me.
Okay.
I'm almost thinking back cut first, Luke.
Okay. You're...
So friends, remember, There is no preload. I'm just set up with 0 preload. And my plan was to set this up and tear it off the stump. Just remember that. Keep that in your mind.
See how deep I am? And I'm not being pinched yet. I'm just starting to get pinched. Watch the tree, Luke. Okay, come on. See that undercut is right there, friends. It's right there. This top plate is holding me on the stump. There's no preload, none at all. That much wood. This top plate, there's our hinge wood right there. Okay. I'm gonna take for granted that thing's leaving. Dude. Okay, did you just see what happened? The undercuts were in the perfect place. That stump, I talk to people about this stuff all the time and I don't think they believe me. That thing was cranked over that house.
Totally was.
Cranked. Did you see that, Al? That was fantastic. You're not, it's all, look, this is what happened. And I want people to understand. Look at, did you see that last cut that I did on the undercut? Look at what brought this tree over. This right here. This piece grew right down into here, into this crotch. This is not the same tree until way down. So, friends, this could not have been a better outcome. I didn't even use the truck. Look at, I didn't even use it. I actually fell that tree completely with no coercion except wedges, but the back cut first with the wedges was everything. If I had stuck my undercut in that, friends, I wasn't getting a back cut in the tree. It wouldn't be possible. So I'm just telling you that I talk about, and sap's running, Luke. Look, we got water flow here. She's wet. Sap is running. But I want to talk to you about this little cut right here. You see this little love heart here? This little guy? Yep. Do you know what happened there when I took that wood? That tree went like this. Look at me, Luke, with the camera. So friends, that tree, there was no No losses on this journey. No, none. And you can see why I didn't preload it, right? With the truck, it would have broke off way sooner and been a problem here. No preload. My plan was to set it up and reef it off the stump. The bottom wood, there's a post there. There's a little teeny post. But what happened when I gave this little center cut, I took the guts out of it, that tree went like this. And it caved on itself. I'm pretty tickled with this outcome. It was these wedges first that helped us. Look at the size of that. Now remember, so here's what held the tree on the stump. Is this plate. This is the top plate of the tree. And it runs all the way. Look at how much foliage is on that freaking tree. So this is the chunk of wood, Luke, that came out of here. Now, if I had misplaced my undercut where I took too much of the top plate, like if I wanted to cut more here, this could have broke and ended up on that shed. In a second, you'll hear a pop and you'll go, your heart will drop and you'll go, darn it, I screwed up. You sure did. So that little cut right there, again, that swoosh, that was everything. Yeah, it just caved it in on itself. So I'm just, I like to share this stuff. It's Captain Gimbal.
Yep.
This gentleman wore cork boots today.
Can you believe it?
A
Vibergs.
set of my old Vibergs that I've put a lot of miles on. He even threw a logger's nut in it.
Yep.
A little sore at the end of the day, wasn't it?
A little bit.
Yeah. Well,
Got to break them in.
yeah, exactly. They're a nice boot. And I was in mine, but we got shut down, friends. The excavator on site. There's much more content to come. This next tree, I'm going to put in another video because it's another adventure. But friends, we were a little bit surprised. It surprised me, but I was just about to say something. You heard me there. I think I said, I took for granted. And I was going to say, I took for granted that it was hanging in there. And I think I was going to say something about that punching it in the guts. I think I was going to say something there, but I heard a crack and I was like, oh, there we go. Hopefully it hangs on long enough to get by the shed. And she did. So if you can imagine if I had that preloaded, friends, and I couldn't get behind it like a tagline. I mean, it would have been a bit of an ordeal. I would have had to climb the Arbutus and do some weird stuff in there. We did that job. We fell it.
Yeah.
And that was probably the extreme limits because as you saw, friends, the undercut was facing like this way, but the tree only traveled so far and broke off. I'm going to take for granted that thing's leaving. Do you know what I mean by that?
Oh, yeah.
Like it did not hang on into its cut. But if my plan was to try and fall it just fall it, I wouldn't have put my undercut that high up. You know what I'm saying, Luke? Mm-hmm. I would have shot more to the left over a bit.
Right.
But that just wasn't even really in the realm. I wasn't thinking I'm going to fall this.
It was leaning so hard over.
Yeah, I wouldn't have. No, I wouldn't. If it was a fir, maybe. But the idea was not to fall that tree by there. And it was those little undercuts, those little punches in the stomach that caved it in on itself. Anyway, Lukey, we've been cutting trees.
Yeah, we have.
We've been super busy, friends, and we're just grateful you're here. And I got a lot of backed up content, so be on the lookout. I'm just very grateful you're here. Listen, how many videos you got out? It's time.
6 as of today.
It's time.
Okay.
This gentleman has been very patient. Go ahead, Luke.
Yeah, so I've been over on Instagram for a couple months and have met a lot of you guys over there, getting a lot of support. But I just started my YouTube channel, so I've got 6 videos up. I started about 2 weeks ago, and I'm getting better and better each video. Really enjoying it. So
good.
Yeah.
So you're basically saying get these people's cans over to your channel is what you're saying.
Lucky Axe Brand.
Lucky Axe Brand on YouTube. Yeah. He's fun to watch. He's humble. I don't want to start shooting off about him right now. You all know who Luke is. He's my son-in-law, and him and Rita have been together a long, long time, and he's helping me out a lot right now. And it's obviously symbiotic, but it It's been a big help having him. We call him Captain Gimbal right now
Yeah.
because where is our gimbal?
Oh.
We've got the gimbal, friends. So this footage was our first gimbal job right here.
Yeah, let us know what you think. We've
Yeah.
been filming on it. I like it a lot better. My hands aren't the smoothest. So
Oh yeah.
this is-
So the footage, I noticed it editing it.
yeah.
It's totally smoother. So we're trying to put out the better stuff for you, friends, and this is a big help. So go over, check out Lucky Axbrand on freaking YouTube. The man's a sucker for punishment.
Yeah.
Anyways, work hard, friends. Be honest and be kind, and we'll catch you on the next video. Thanks for being here.
Thanks.